Hello and welcome to the shimmering heat of the Dubai Autodrome. From Evans on pole to Vasquez at the rear, the desert stage is set for an absolute classic. The lights are out and we are racing in the Dubai desert. Javi, Judd and Garbanzo are dancing a dangerous tango through the opening complex of corners. They are going wheel to wheel into the abyss and neither one is willing to blink at turn one. Apostolovsky has absolutely threaded the needle there. A breathtaking move through the midfield pack. Disaster at the front. The leaders entangled and Daniel Bourne emerges from the carnage to lead the race. Bourne is driving like a man possessed, trying to shatter the slipstream effect before the chasing pack can react.
Garbanzo secured second and he'll be licking his chops looking at that BMW. From a driver's perspective, he knows Bourne is vulnerable here. He's got the pace advantage, he just needs to be clinical and not get caught in Bourne's erratic way.
Green flag, sector 1.
The Turner livery of Bourne is shimmering under the floodlights, but the Mercedes of Garbanzo is looming large. A silver Predator closing in for the kill. The tension is palpable. You could cut the atmosphere with a rear wing of end plate as they scream down the straight.
It's a massive psychological test for Bourne. He hasn't spent much time at the sharp end this season, and leading a race is a completely different discipline. You're looking in the mirrors more than the apex, and that's where the mistakes start creeping in.
Sector 2. The gap to P2 behind is now 4.1.
Bourne's had a shocker recently with his safety rating, Alex. After last week's demolition derby, he needs to prove he can race hard without ending up in the barriers. He's been cautious, perhaps too cautious, which is playing right into Garbanzo's hands.
Bourne looks comfortable for the moment, but that Mercedes is growing larger and larger. The gap is evaporating like water on the Dubai asphalt as the Garbanzo finds his rhythm. As the dust settles on a frantic opening, Daniel Bourne crosses the line to start lap 2, leading a high-speed chase through the heart of the desert.
So look at the Mercedes closing up. Garbanzo is much more stable aero braking, while Bourne is fighting the wheel. He's having to apply a lot more opposite lock through the final turn. That's a classic sign that the BMW's rear tyres are already starting to protest. The BMW has the straight line grub, but this middle sector is all Mercedes territory. The German manufacturer has built a car that just rotates so much better in these low-speed technical bits. Bourne is a sit duck if he can't find a way to stay out of reach.
The stopwatch doesn't lie, it's telling a grim story for Daniel Bourne. He's hemorrhaging time and Garbanzo is right there, peering into the BMW's gearbox with aggressive intent.
I heard in the paddock that Bourne went all out on a low-fuel qualifying trend just to get away from the midfield madness. It's worked, he's in the lead, but now he's got a very fast Mercedes for company and nowhere to hide. He's under immense pressure.
Further back, JFI Chad and Juan Vasquez are locked in a gladiatorial struggle for 6th. It's a game of high-speed chess at 170 miles per hour. Vasquez is searching for a chink in the armour, but Jed is placing his car with the precision of a master watchmaker. Garbanzo is within 2/10. Sabi holds third, while the midfield is a chaotic swarm of carbon fibre and ambition. Side by side, Garbanzo launches an audacious assault as they plunge into the technical sector. It's a pixel-perfect challenge for the lead. Bourne survives by the skin of his teeth. He starts lap 3 still in the lead, but the Sharks are circling.
8.79.
Garbanzo is so close he can reach out and touch the BMW's rear wing. They are wheel to wheel again, too tight into the track, refusing to give an inch as they scream past the grandstands. It's a breathtaking display of bravery and car control from both drivers.
Garbanzo is clearly the stronger driver through the S section. He's forcing Bourne to take these tight defensive lines which you can clearly see. The BMW sliding wide. Bourne is starting to overdrive the car just to stay ahead. That's a very strange line through turn 8 from Bourne. He's missed the apex completely, and that's going to kill his exit speed onto the back straight. He's lucky Garbanzo wasn't close enough to capitalise on that specific mistake.
Garbanzo feints to the right, a shimmering ghost in the mirrors. Bourne holds his nerve and slams the door shut with typical German efficiency.
This is BMW versus Mercedes, a rivalry as old as time itself, playing out under the scorching desert sun. It's more than just a race. It's a battle for manufacturer supremacy and personal pride between two drivers who clearly have no love lost.
The gap behind is now 6.1. Green flag, sector 1.
Track temperature is soaring, Alex, and that's a nightmare for the tyres. We're seeing a lot of surface graining already. The drivers who can manage their slip angle and keep the temperatures under control will have a massive advantage in the final minutes of this race. On this long main straight, the slipstream is everything. If Bourne can't break that 1 second gap, Garbanzo will eventually just breeze past him with the toe. It's like a magnetic pull. The car behind just gets dragged along, saving fuel and tyres for the attack.
Sector 1 is 0.1. Car on your left. He's still...
There it is, the move is made. Garbanzo sweeps past Daniel Bourne to take the lead. After laps of relentless pressure, the dam has finally burst and the Mercedes surges into the clean air at the front.
Bourne simply had no answer for that. He's looked ragged for the last 2 laps. Now he needs to switch his mindset to damage limitation and ensure he brings home that second place. He cannot afford to get green now. Second place would be a huge haul of points for Bourne if he can keep his head down and stay clear of the scrap behind. It's a massive result for his championship campaign after the disasters of the previous rounds.
Eyes down the order. Pal Salbi and Jorge Pastor Martinez have been inseparable for the entire race. It's a high-speed duel for the final step of the podium that refuses to end. Martinez dives to the inside of the hairpin. It's a lunge from another zip code, but Salbi holds his line and maintains his composure to keep the Porsche behind. That was incredibly close. You couldn't have fit a sheet of paper between them.
Neither of them is giving an inch. It's brilliant to watch, but it's also slowing them both down. They're so focused on beating each other that they've completely lost touch with the leading duo. It's classic racing ego over strategy.
Garbanzo leads Bourne by half a second. Martinez is breathing down Salbi's neck for third, while Mirko watches from fifth. The gaps are tightening up as we head into the final third of this desert sprint. Daniel Bourne crosses the line to start lap 5. He's still within striking distance of Garbanzo, refusing to let the silver Mercedes disappear into the sunset. It's a gutsy performance from a driver with everything to prove. They swap again. Martinez moves into third, then Salbi fights back. This is absolute madness for the final podium spot. They are trading paint and positions with every single corner. It's a masterclass in aggressive wheel-to-wheel racing.
Look at the gap to the leaders now. It's over 2 seconds. While Xavi and Martinez are playing games, Garbanzo and Bourne are checking out. From a driver's seat, you're fuming if you're in that battle because you know you're throwing away a chance at the win.
Sector 1 is green. Vasquez has just retired.
Bourne is glued to the back of that Mercedes. He's like a shadow, following Garbanzo's every move, waiting for the slightest hesitation to reclaim his lost throne. The pursuit is relentless and the stakes could not be higher.
You can see the difference in aero setups here. The Mercedes is running a bit more wing, which helps Garbanzo in the corners, but Bourne's BMW is trimmed out. He's faster at the end of the straight, but he's slightly more in the high-speed turns.
Drama on the radio. Daniel Bourne is absolutely fuming, screaming about the driving standards of the leaders. He thinks he's being unfairly squeezed, and the stewards might have a busy evening ahead of them if this continues.
Bourne's always been vocal, hasn't he? He's got a reputation of being a bit difficult when things don't go his way. He needs to stop talking and start driving, because that radio chatter is just a distraction he doesn't need right now.
5 minutes to go. This is good. We'll be on the podium if we can keep it together.
Lap 6 begins. Bourne is still there, stalking his prey through the flickering lights of the Dubai circuit. Can he find the magic move to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat in these final laps? He's in the draft. Bourne pulls out as they approach turn 1, looking for a gap that doesn't exist. It's a high-stakes gamble in the desert heat, and every spectator is on the edge of their seat as these two push the limit. Chaos! Mikado lunges at Chabi. Contact! The Mercedes is around. Sabi is spinning into the wilderness as Mikado muscles his way through. That was a move of pure desperation, and the stewards will surely be looking at that one. Mikado is shouting on the radio. He's mentioning his rivalry with Bourne. He clearly thinks he's the faster man today. The adrenaline is pumping and the tempers are boiling over as we reach the final lap of this desert thriller. Final lap, Mikado is absolutely sending it. He dives to the inside of Martinez. He's going for the podium in a move that can only be described as all or nothing. The Ferrari is screaming for mercy. He forces the issue. Martinez holds firm. The Porsche is a fortress through the final technical complex, refusing to be intimidated by the aggressive red car in his mirrors. It's a defensive masterclass in the final seconds. Collision, they touch. Mikado is forced off into the dust. Aaron Evans is the benefactor, slipping through the carnage to take fourth as the others tangle. Absolute mayhem on the final lap of the race. Garbanzo leads Bourne across the final sector. Martinez survives for third. The leaderboard is a sea of shifting positions as we head to the checkered flag. Sebastian Garbanzo takes the win in Dubai, a dominant performance, and Daniel Bourne crosses the line in second. A massive result that will skyrocket his rating and restore his reputation as a top-tier competitor. What a show we've been treated to, from the opening lap carnage to the final lap collisions. It's been a quintessential display of modern motorsport drama. Sebastian Garbanzo was untouchable. Bourne showed remarkable maturity to take second, and the midfield provided enough action to last the season. As the engines cool and the dust settles, the stories from today will be told long into the night. Goodbye from Dubai.